In the last video I forgot to mention, so I had some things on my mind. I was talking about, forgot to mention about the shaking that was, his head bobbing so fast, like a person having a seizure. I seen that it got eliminated when I took away VSync, the 60 frames per second. Could have been that, or I don't have no check in the blur, so I know blur wasn't the cause of it. I noticed that the important part to this game, which I didn't do much of in the first part, is completing the first and second races, then upgrading, keeping the upgrading so that I don't have any struggles at all throughout the game. But I noticed in Ride 4 and 5, I didn't play Ride 3 much at all because I didn't like hardly anything about it. So I'm gonna skip that if I ever make any future videos of these other Ride ones. But the time attack ones are very, very frustrating. They make them to where they're nearly impossible. You cannot make you can't even make a sneeze or you're off. And there's no way you would ever beat the time attacks. They made them completely insane. Doesn't tell me anywhere. That's always a complication with this game, where it's not telling you how much to upgrade to the point you can't go that far, or it won't show up in your career. World Tour. Maybe I have to go to the World Tour, which is a season before I believe I'm done here. Although I didn't go to 2. To complete all of these, right, before getting to the next. Right, and if I go to the next, this game may go longer than I expected. Complete that, and the next. Hopefully I won't wear myself out trying to complete this to the end. I mean, I don't know what I'm to expect. I don't think I ever completed this game. If I gotta go to the expert presentation. I just hope it doesn't carry you. Like I saw in Ride 4 or Ride 5, I saw this guy do a video that was 12 hours long, and he did 300 laps. I'm like, God, that guy must be insane. It's like you gotta go see a shrink after that. And a shrink will put an ink through, a piece of paper and open the piece of paper up and say, "What do you see?" And he'll probably say, "I see a video game," to the point that he's, it's too insane to go that far. There's a point that no human being should put their life, I guess they call them like neat freaks. I saw a story one time. This guy could not stop the habit of just trying to be very neat. You ever know somebody that's vacuuming, they gotta vacuum twice, they gotta vacuum again and again and again, to where they can't handle. They gotta be overly. This guy, they had a documentary on some people that were, they had a problem. I forget what you call what that problem is. To where he was messing with playing cards, and he had to make this like house or a tall skyscraper through playing cards. He didn't need to do that. It's kind of like a person that would put dominoes and just record it and see the effect and just replant them back up, and he just couldn't stop doing it. He didn't want to go to sleep. He wanted to keep doing it. I don't know what disorder you call that. OCD, Eileen? Okay. Obsessive compulsive disorder. Well, this guy must have had an I'm not saying it right, compulsive disorder, when he was doing the 12-hour 300 lap on RIDE-2. You can't miss it. It's on YouTube. I thought, that is how a human being would do that? I don't want to even investigate and find the reasons why, because you feel like you may get that disorder when you look into it. You feel like you may get it like a virus, suddenly it went into your eyes and you don't feel normal anymore. It's like you don't want to know why they have that issue. They have that problem, because it'll always be on your mind, worrying me if I would ever even get a glimpse of that disorder. It's like, no, man, I wouldn't want that kind of lifestyle. That's freaky, if you ask me. But I feel this game, I don't want to put myself through, but I'm going to try the best I can. Even if it takes a month or something, but never push myself over the edge trying to get it completed for YouTube. I mean, who knows? I heard a lot of people getting everything deleted, wiped on their YouTube because of hackers or get too many, weird little strikes of certain music that you couldn't stop in these games, because once you start the game, even with your music off in the game, it's gonna play that music that it could give you a copyright, and you kind of don't want to edit out that music because you're talking through it sometimes, and it's gonna delete your messages, your talking, your commentary. It's like, everything in life, they gotta nitpick every little detail to make it like it's gotta be a 10 commandment or something. Like they gotta push it on you when it doesn't have to be that way. That is what you call communism to the extreme. That if you don't open that door, that they knock on it, they'll get a bulldozer and knock down your house just because you didn't answer the door. That's also compulsive disorder, to where they force more laws on you than it has to be. This copyright thing is becoming a nuisance. I mean, I guess you probably could play copyright music that's from another country, because how can they make a worldwide, copyright? I don't know how they can manage that. But I guess when laws get set in as copyright worldwide, that's uncontrollable. And communism sets in. And what I mean by communism, not many people understand what communism is. It means it takes away your freedom, your rights. It cages you, even from birth or something. It's even in scripture. That's 666. You may not realize the deep meaning of it, what it means. That mark that's being put on you. And the mark could be the AI, world domination control. That's what it is. And God says if you accept that mark, your name will be blotted out of the book of life. God is mad at you. To the point he says, I'm not letting any human being, no person that will accept that mark. So this is a warning to all of you. And he put that in scripture. Now what happens to those that don't know scripture and puts this mark and maybe ignore or something? It's like you can't ignore a warning that could take away that immortality that Christ said, I came to save the soul. Not the flesh, not the body. He came to save. He says, why should ye die? I came for a purpose to save you. And yet you're going to go and do this against what he placed a judgment book upon all of us. That we have to, because you have to understand, it's not being forced upon you by God. He's saying, I love you, but if you will not live with love and kindness, because this thing that you're going to do is not kindness and it's not love. It's more going to create a pressure upon the good people. I read this in some old book or something to where it says, this mark will not only... Boy, how can I get in deep with this, what this means, what that mark really means. He means anything you accept will pressure his good people. For it says in Ecclesiastes that in those days, last days, we will praise the dead more than the living because they're suffering. The living is suffering too much when they're trying to live and they can't. And God says, a warning to you that don't do this in the wintertime. But you have to be smart and leave these cities. Leave these and live in the wilderness. I don't know how you could do that if you're not healthy. If you're paralyzed or something, which I am, and I'm bound by medicine that I have to be in the cities and stuff. But if I were healthy enough, I would live. And I would try to save enough to have all my family say, come with me into this wilderness. Get away from these laws and from these murderers that wanting to come into our home, especially when they open the border and they're coming into your home and they want to take away our rights to hold a weapon to protect ourselves in our own homes, to where it would make those that illegally have weapons they feel like they'll have the right. Sure, they're gonna grind off the serial number or something and say that I gotten this off the streets or something, or somebody just put it there and I didn't know it and suddenly I seen it there. They could lie. But when you're taking away the rights to protect yourself, it's not the weapon that's evil. It's the person that's holding it. So the person that has the legal rights to hold a weapon will know how to wield it, will know how to, and they will be the right kind of people. They have license for it and stuff. But to those that don't have the license, you take away the license of those that do have, the people that do have the license, and it's like giving it to those that do not deserve the weapon, and they will come into your home with those illegal weapons, and you got nothing to protect yourself because they took it away. How deranged that is. Why open up the border and why take away our rights to wield weapons? That right there is manipulation beyond to the extreme. It's like they want us to die by the hands of people from the border. Sure, they're going to come home. I mean, they're going to come over from the border because they want a better life, but they don't have homes. They can't afford the homes, so they're going to want to, create fires, like I saw in California or LA fires. They're going to want to create these things to burn down the homes and everything because they don't have a home. They'll come over here wanting revenge or jealousy. Sooner or later, they're going to be like, well, you got these nice things. If I can't have them, neither will you. It's like, when you open up the border, that's what's going to happen. You're going to see bombing. You're going to see religious, kind of like that, what you call it, Ghostbusters, the 1980s one, where, what's that actor's name? That said, cats and dogs going to live together and all havoc is going to break loose. I mean, YouTube has that clip, so you will find it. Just type in, Ghostbusters, dogs, cats live together, and you can't miss it. It's supposed to be funny, but the meaning of it means all havoc break loose. That's communism. You lose your control, you lose your rights, you're like a lab rat in your own home. That was so evil for Democrats to do. It turned me against them. So it turned me so much against them that I will not believe them. More and more I'm noticing the lies that they're building up, they're saying just so they can hold on to power. I realize more and more Democrats are acting like democrats, devilcrats. They are, because they want that control, and the more they want that control, the more unsettling they become. I wanted to play this game, but now I'm getting in such a mindset to where these things are coming to pass that I read in Scripture, and I've always wondered throughout the years, how can these things be? Where will the setting, like the setting of the sun, where will these patterns start? It starts through the lies, because even Christ said, there will be rumors of wars, lies, deceptions, earthquakes, all kind of havoc, like you would never see before. He says it'll be worse than Noah's flood, which I don't understand, because Noah's flood killed everything. But I even think Noah's flood killed the dinosaurs, not the meteor, because in the Arctic, with all that ice that's falling down, and they call it global warming, which is bullshit, because that's only gaining their power. It's kind of like when they say no one is above the law, when those that speak of it are above the law, and you could clearly see that they're doing things against the law. So, and they're speaking no one's above the law, and they're doing the things that are not right. So they're lying to you. So many lies that you can make a whole encyclopedia. They lied this, they lied saying that, they lied doing this. Everything they do is lies, but yet they're going to try to turn it around and twist it, say, oh, I didn't say that, that other side said it. It's like, no, why point your finger or cast out that which is in your own eye before you blame others? I'm sorry, but Democrats are blaming others for their own misbehavior. It's so clearly seen. I mean, why they were going out attacking Tesla cars, it's beyond me. It's like they don't know that there were laws that they shouldn't be doing that. But they're following the lies that the Democrats are telling them. And I'm asking myself, in James 4:4, those that follow the ways of the world are enemy against God. So when they're listening to their own government and doing the wrong things and being pushed on, listening to them and saying we're gonna do all this havoc because the government's telling us to fight back, to do evil for them. They're not the ones that are going to get in trouble. They're influencing you like Charles Manson influenced his killers to do for him. Democrats were doing that, and suddenly you see that there's shooting happening on with trying to kill Trump. And they want to constantly agitate like they're murderers themselves. And I clearly understand more and more whenever I see what the government's doing, because they're not holding on to power. I see how Christ died on the cross. Why the Sadducees and Pharisees sought out to kill him. Because they were so worldly, they didn't want anybody to change what he was doing that was good. So anybody that's good, it's kind of like Fox's Book of Martyrs. Why all the disciples but John, I don't mean John the Baptist, but the young John that was laying his head on Jesus' shoulder, at the supper and stuff, the young John, he was the only one that didn't die, but he came close to die. Fox's Book of Martyrs said that he was dipped in hot tar, but it did not kill him, because Jesus needed him to write Revelation. And Revelation is very closely to Daniel, the book of Daniel, which a lot of the Catholic Church don't like to speak about the book of Daniel, because it talks about, sorry to say, but I got to say it, the great whore church. And you're like, what is that? What is that? It's got to be the one that's got the highest riches. Common sense tells you that. And I've seen how all this demonicism and everything is somehow boosting the favor. Exorcism and all that's got to be in the Catholics. And there was no such thing as exorcism when Christ was around, and his disciples, when they were casting out demons. They were calm when they cast them out. But the exorcisms that they do in the Catholic Church is tormenting you, is teasing you. It's killing them. And Christ's teachings were that way. He cast him out and made them calm. The guy who had Legion was very calm. He was very calm. So you don't get to know, but it all fits the pattern if you are into and you got the thirst for God. Any further, I can't do that, so maybe I gotta go to amateur. $14,000. Okay. So it's because of the credits that I can't do that. So I have to go a different direction than I was planning to do. I hope that some people that see my videos could comment and let me know that I help them understand that what they do in their life and protect them from the maniacs of the world. Intelligence is everything. It's like when you're sick, there are times that you got to become your own doctor to learn how to help yourself. Top speed 7.8. Okay, 8.5. Can't afford that well. Okay, I should have the DLC for it. It's like you may have the DLC, but I'm not sure if it's even. I think all my checks are in there. Let me go look. Hayabusa or something? I can't pronounce that. Let's go to my Steam. Right click, properties, DLCs. All checks are in it. I'm not clicking on each one. This video is going to be way too long, and I gotta watch myself to not make these videos 2 hours long like I made the first one. But I will have to cut them apart then. Make it an hour each. Which is still kind of long because some people want to make videos no more than 30 minutes. But this game is too large, and I don't want too many videos. I don't want to do that either. Some reason I think some of these don't work. I've heard in the past, and that may be true, that sometimes with these DLCs, you have to take away the check marks. But doing that while the game is no, I guess you can't. But I guess when I'm not running the game, I should maybe take away the check marks, then add them back in, if that doesn't mess up my save file. A few more in store. On wish list. Oh, the Ducati. $6. Wait for them to get on sale, and they'll probably be down to 99 cents or 50 cents. I definitely would buy it then. Okay. Go back. $8.9. That's the best yet. See, when you can play them that high in top speed, you could play it in hard mode. You would have no problem. Kind of. Okay. I do remember the past I had trouble with turning. Handling is 6.4. Speed is everything though. Get me wrong, the handling can be good, but from trial and error, acceleration's good. I'm gonna get it, but I'm hoping I should maybe save my progress, but I'm not gonna go there. Give myself a little bit of a break from talking too much. But hey, the world we live in, finding those that know some things, the teachings like God teaches, they're priceless. His disciples, they taught priceless. When you hear somebody teach you and they're priceless, they don't want nothing from you in return, you know that person is good. Because anybody is needy, greedy, money for this world, like a lot of preachers, that made so much money, and they made it and they're living high and mighty and everything, you know that they live the lie. They may speak the truth, but they live the lie. God's not going to want them. I had to go back. Okay, 650. Well, looks like I can upgrade it quite a bit. If you don't upgrade this, the AIs will beat you all the time. This I learned gives you the best. This oil thing is just stupid. There is a check. Okay, there is a check in it already. There we go. I'm going to get it anyways, but I'm not going to have enough credits now. at 10. I don't think you can go any higher. I did. Yes, I did. Got that already. Got that already. And here's the thing though. This right here, gear, it allows you to adjust each one. It'll enable it. 2000. I'll have to get back here to get that. Each gear. Doesn't give you much, but yeah, that's cost too much. Now I need about 7,000 credits. But I could now raise, not sure if the AIs have all upgrades. They might. In scripture it talks about departure is not in the winter, because I remember watching a movie one time about departure in the winter. These people, it was right around like the Thanksgiving or something, pilgrims. There was a true story that there was no fairy tale for sure. They went three. They went to, I guess, come to America, or they did it during the winter, and they were warned they should wait till after the winter, and they didn't listen, and in their journey a lot of them died. If you want to really look up what I'm talking about, it was like a small midget guy, and he had such a heart of gold. I cried for him when he something made him sick, the cold. And they were starving because you can't find food in the winter and stuff. Firm. Yes, I should. Overwrite, yes. 3. Okay, that's all saved. Base option. Yeah. Keeping it all now since I've learned from. I kind of don't need this, but I like how it changes color. When it goes a little red, it tells you to slow down ahead of time. It is a good helping hand. And all of them that they give us. Oh, this. I'll put it on medium for now because I upgraded. But hey, if I'm going to find myself still passing them, I'm going to put it on maybe realistic or hard. But it all comes down to your upgrades. People that do live too pampered in life, you don't learn from mistakes. Oh, that's powerful. I'm going to have to raise that. The heartache. In scripture it talks about the more knowledge you gain. I think it's Ecclesiastes or something from King Solomon. He says the more knowledge, wisdom you gain, the more suffering you get from it, the more you learn. It's kind of like, let's say if you're 50 years old, maybe you become 100 years old or something through the knowledge, through all the heartache. We learn through our trials and tribulations. There's a line that I'll never forget that I liked. It was from Star Trek. Wasn't the Wrath of Khan, it was Star Trek to where New Discovery or something. It was Spock's brother who had some kind of power, and he was helping them. And he wanted to show them their pain. And Kirk said, "I need my pain. It is what it makes me who I am." You know, it teaches you. And I'm like, that makes a lot of sense. Throughout pain and suffering in life, you do, through the endurance, you do learn. Oh man, I can't. I gotta brake more. I may have to turn on the brakes. Learning curve, I gotta brake early on. Whoa. Whoa. I'm going to fix that. Anti-wheelie. I better do that now because I'm not getting nowhere. Anti-wheelie. I want to wheelie a little bit. I'll try medium. I hope it kept my settings. Yes, it did. Stop doing that, controller. There we go. It's clicking 2 at a time. I know what I gotta buy as soon as I win one of these. Go on to the brakes. Upgrade the brakes. I think it also has brake shoes too. Boots, brake boots. See, when it turns yellow, that means it's okay, but when it goes red, it's telling me I'm going too fast for the corner. So yeah, what these lines are telling you is you're okay if they turn yellow. They're a guide. It's red. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Brake, 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 brake. Whoa. That was a save. I held down the A button and the reverse, which is also the front. It's like rear and front. Oh. Hitting that rider, maybe. He crashed. Yes. I like when I crash him. It would not be laughable though if it was multiplayer. But they're AIs. If I had a shovel, I would like to clobber them all. It's clobbering time. Be like that in what was that video game? Mortal Kombat. He had a chain. Get over here, and he just pulling them over towards him just to clobber him. I gotta hold down both brakes. Get hit from behind though. Kind of like that guy from Fish Called Wanda. That was so funny. And they put the French fries in that guy's nose, and I had a laugh. And put a apple in his mouth, and he's like trying to breathe. When he took the damn French fries out of his nose. Oh man, that was so funny. Gave me a headache to laugh so much. It's called Fish Called Wanda. The scene, I know they got a scene there on YouTube. When they did that, I had never seen something so funny in my life. And the way he stuttered was just crazy. He's going ka ka ka, and you're trying to tell him to sing it. He couldn't. Then when he finished, when he said, and suddenly he was saying it, and he was wondering, how could I say it so easy now? It was such a funny movie. I gotta tell you another very funny one. Oh man. It's when he farted in that spacesuit. Rocket Man, I think it's called. Oh man, that killed me almost, laughing so hard. See, he farted in his suit, and his oxygen tank or something wasn't working. So he had to use a tube to take the oxygen and connect it with his partner. So he ended up farting in his suit, and well, it got so funny that his suit expanded from it. It's like, it wasn't me, and it was so funny. It's like, we're like millions of miles away from nowhere, and yet you say it wasn't you? Oh, that was, they call it methane or something, to where like, look at these methanes. And they all had a laugh, and I'm like, oh man. Oh, it was so funny. Yeah, if you're looking for the funniest movies that just ever been, Fish Called Wanda. Oh my god, that's so funny. Guys like, asshole, you know, out in the streets calling everybody. The guy made I forget his name, he made a good movie to where he played the president. And he had a look-alike of an evil president that did wrong. And he had a heart attack or something, and Sigourney Weaver played the wife, and she didn't get along with her husband. but she did get along with him. So they brung him in because he looked so much like the president to keep it going. So because what he had going was not only manipulating, but it's also making him rich and everything. So they wanted to keep him in. I don't know. It's called Dave. That's right. So yeah, that guy that played Fish Called Wanda, he was also in Dave, movie called Dave. Really good movie. Awesome ending. Actually, I'd like to see that movie again. Wait, what place? Oh, I was in first. Good. Talking so much, I don't even realize I did good. Yeah, my mind's elsewhere. It's like, I had some people telling me, how do you do that? How do you multitask like that? Just do something. Well, sometimes it just takes over you. When you play it enough, and I guess things you like, because racing games I like most. They're not like the violent games out there. With the kids today, they want to play these them violent games and a lot of shooting games. I'm like, why is it you guys want to keep playing shooting games to die and just keep happening? Well, I tell you, when my nephew, he's like 15 now, when he plays those games, he wants to punch walls, he wants to smash things, he can't handle anger. It's like take a chill pill, man. But they can't control their anger like that. It's like a disorder. It becomes a disorder for them. Not for them, but a bad disorder. So much that I wonder, deeply wonder if that can cause a multiple personality and you don't even know it. When it makes you angry so much that you lose 5,000. Well, I'm going to get the brakes. Right there. Brake shoes. It's 1,000. Red. There we go. I got better brakes. What if I... No, they're all the same. Brake pad. Only 2? That's good. Wonder if this could also add to the brakes. Oh, who would have thought? I was just guessing. I guess this adds to brakes too. No, just handling. I'll take the black. Yellow's not bad on black and red. Although chrome is nice too. I'll take the black. It's 1,000 though. It doesn't give me much extra handling. I'll take it. Okay. None of this other stuff helps with my brakes, does it? You would think that maybe longer. It doesn't. Nice looks, but I don't need that. Don't need that. Although I would take the color yellow or green if it could. Now the tires, though, the rims, well, that's right, I did buy the other rims. This is, oh, what was that, 2,000? Oh, okay. I'll get it. Good enough. Now I'm hoping my brakes a little better, but I am gonna take that off of them Brake option. Semi-pro. Standard. Put that on high. I'm always going to leave it on. Oh, almost hit a cone. Brake, brake. There we go. Oh. 44, 45, 46. Oh, wow. How could I win it being off the track? I beat it. I don't give a damn. I did it. You know, what is her name? I gotta look this up because I don't think it's Irene. I'm gonna be funny. Rocky. I did it. Irene, his wife, name, Adrian. Okay, I did it, Adrian. I did it. A-N. I did it.
I just want to say one thing to my wife who's home. Yo, Adrian! I did it!
Yo, Adrian, I did it! You know, there is a real life story
I just want
of this guy's face was so beaten in because this guy put sand in his gloves. And I feel so bad for that man who got so beaten by that asshole that made his gloves heavy. He kept beating him in his face. With gloves like that, my God, I'm surprised the guy, did he die? I don't know if he, makes me almost as if I want to, I gotta show it to you. I gotta show it to you. Boxer with sand in his gloves. Poor man's face. Boxing, most dangerous mistakes revealed. His face, God, so wrong. People are so evil.
In any sport, whether it's football, basketball, whereas in our case, boxing, there are certain rules that athletes must follow. Some commissions must ensure that these rules are respected. But what happens if you bring together a corrupt trainer, an average boxer, and a budding talent at the boxing ring in one evening while adding the negligence of the sports commission and a great financial benefit for one of the parties? And the result will be a fight, after which no one will become the same, and events that will be remembered for a very long time.
They're showing gloves there, so that has to be it.
Billy Collins Jr. was born in Tennessee, and from an early age, his fate was
I'm not going to show it all. I just want to show
was a pro boxer. So
the
Billy,
most important
under his
part.
guidance, began to master the language of boxing. And now, Billy, for 21 years, he's an excellent boxer with a great future and has 14 victories in the pro with 11 knockouts.
I don't think it killed him, but I think it blinded him.
And calls him Irish. This is the nickname Billy received. He's moving towards a fight for the champion. As the meeting progresses from round to round, the Puerto Rican's advantage increases, who, drinking a miracle drink from Panama Lewis, delivers hard blows to Billy's head. The fight was 10 rounds, and in the second half of the meeting, everything began to look like beating young Billy, whose face was beginning to swell from many punches, but he was not going to give up and fought to the end. All 10 rounds were finished, and Luis Resto, at the end of the fight, came up to hug Billy. The father of the defeated Irish took advantage of the moment to touch Resto's glove, after which he began to shout and call for the commission as the glove was almost without padding. After some commotion, Michael Buffer announced Resto's victory by unanimous decision, and the boxers retreated to the area below the podium. The commission entered Resto's locker room and took his gloves as evidence, and after 3 weeks, all three were brought before the commission as the culprit. The fight received the status as not taken place. The trainer and the boxer received lifelong disqualifications, and then the trial began. In 1996, that is, after 3 years, the battlefield Panama Lewis and Luis Resto were sentenced to 2.5 years in prison, and their accomplice died under unknown circumstances, while he changed his testimony several times, claiming that he saw Panama Lewis enter the toilet with those gloves. As for Billy Collins Jr., then after this carnage, he received a serious eye injury and ended his boxing career. 9 months after this ill-fated evening, Billy Collins Jr. died in a car accident, and many believe that it was suicide, since he could not cope with the end of his career. He began to drink and drowned in the deepest depression. But there is another opinion in which his father is partly to blame, who forbade Billy from boxing because he wanted to sue the Sports Commission for $65 million due to the negligence that evening. But the money was never obtained because the jury could not make a verdict for vague wording of the rules governing the activities of the commission's inspectors. Upon his release from prison, Luis Resto was already left without a family that abandoned him, without a home and boxing, and found shelter in the hall of the boxing basement where he trained. But he never entered the ring anymore. 25 years later, Resto still admitted that he knew about the gloves and about Panama's drink, and the toughest thing, it seems, is that his bandages were soaked in plaster and had already hardened by the time of the battle. So he beat with 2 plastered sledgehammers nothing unsuspecting Billy, and also confessed that a very large sum of money of one major drug dealer was at stake in this fight, to whom Panama Lewis promised that his ward would make an upset and win the fight. So Resto, by his own admission, went into this duel to destroy Billy. After all, this merchant's big money was at stake. This is a story that happened in the 1980s in the world of boxing. And it only shows how some can lose their human appearance when they have only money and profit in their minds. And the saddest thing is that in such stories, innocent people always suffer first, just like in our case of speaking about 21-year-old boxer Billy Collins Jr. Thank you for your attention in watching this video.
Gears. I put it to 2. I'm hoping this changes a few things. This is like, when it comes to time attack, you can't help it but say, Milestone, I hate your time attacks. It's just ridiculous, and it can make you frustrated. I got no choice. Time attacks suck. Trying so hard. You can hear me tap the corners, trying to keep the momentum without losing. That was the best turn I ever made. I felt like it went too slow there, but I couldn't do anything about it. I felt like it went too slow there too. Oh, there ain't no way I could make a 147. That's the best damn turn ever made, and I still can't beat it. Oh man. Can't do it. My limit. No. Oh crap. Invalid records, I think. It's impossible to make these turns. I don't think I have the right bike. Yeah, that's what they're trying to do. For the darn better bikes that work for these times. Yeah. It reminds you of Lethal Weapon 4 in that movie. Mel Gibson movie. It's like they F you and do this, F you if you do that. You know, and they're telling them, shut up. Lupaccio or something his name is. I tell you, when we played that movie, My Cousin Vinny, it was pretty good. It was funny though, the screaming owl. He's like, what the hell's that shit? Screaming owl. Man, I can't beat 155. That is like the best I've ever made. That's still not good enough. It's going to have to do. It's impossible to make first time attacks. I hate Milestone for that. I know that they want you to buy their DLCs in order to get those times. So they're trying to F you on that. See, F you is not a word. It's when you say F-U-C, you know, the full sentence.